Ultra Instinct, the ultimate state of existence where a person can act without thinking. Without the need for the mind to process information, the body can react independently. Or in other words, it allows the body to move on its own. The angels are always in a state of Ultra Instinct in Dragon Ball Super, but they don't have a monopoly on the technique. That's why Goku was able to learn how to do it. Then Moro was able to achieve it too by copying Beerus' abilities, and although Beerus hasn't mastered it yet, probably because we never actually see him train, or perhaps it's because destroyers are simply unable to completely master the technique because of their destructive natures, they can't attain the optimal state of emotional balance. That's why Ultra Ego would be the way to go. But Vegeta isn't a destroyer, so this brings us to the inevitable question. Can Vegeta learn how to use Ultra Instinct? As we saw during the Tournament of Power, when Vegeta tries to instinctively dodge in the anime by closing his eyes, he gets punched right in the face. So he gives up for the time being and focuses on what he can do. Whis also comments that because of Vegeta's fighting style, he can't learn this technique. He would be referring to the idea that you need optimal levels of self-control and clarity, so someone who's as analytical as Vegeta would just let his natural tendencies get in the way of him learning this technique. Though this doesn't mean he can't learn it. Vegeta will just have to completely shatter his limits and redefine the way he approaches fighting. In doing that, Vegeta should be able to go beyond the technique itself and come up with his own answer just like Goku. To that end, this story is what if Vegeta learned Ultra Instinct? Following the events of the Granola arc, Vegeta is a little conflicted. Deep down, he knows. If he is to really go down this path of Ultra Ego, he's gonna have to be cold again, but he just can't come to terms with doing that. It took him decades to understand what it meant to fight for others with all of his heart and soul. Is it worth letting that all go for the sake of acquiring more strength? Strength that wouldn't even be true to him. No, Vegeta just can't accept that in his head as he clenches his fist. Hey Kakarot, get ready for a fight. And I better see that Ultra Instinct because I certainly won't be holding back, Vegeta tells Goku. Alright, calm down, let me finish eating. What's gotten into you though, Goku says. Frieza has become too strong. Both of us got put on our backs in a mere instant. There's no time to overthink things. I'm gonna get stronger and fast, Vegeta states. The two of them are currently on Beerus' planet, and so both Whis and Beerus are honestly pretty interested in how this is gonna turn out. I mean, Goku and Vegeta going all out against each other, we haven't seen this in years. What do you think, Whis? Which one of them is currently stronger, Beerus asks. Well, Goku did come up with a new variation of Ultra Instinct. I'd say he still has an edge on Vegeta, Whis replies. True enough, and I doubt that's ever gonna change. For better or worse, Vegeta will always lag behind Goku, Beerus says. You know, Goku has received formal training throughout his entire childhood, while Vegeta has spent his childhood committing, for lack of better words, war crimes. He may be more useful in a war, but Vegeta lacks the strong martial arts foundation Goku has. This is why he has a hard time winning whenever the difference in power isn't big enough for him to completely overpower his opponents. I wonder how is Ultra Ego going to help him grow, Whis replies. It won't. Vegeta won't be able to go very far with Ultra Ego either. He isn't like Frieza after all. Whatever, I'm pretty sure he'll figure something out. He's always been a pretty crafty guy, Beerus says, and then he drinks his orange juice. Next, the duel between true Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego begins. I'm not gonna go easy on you, Kakarot. Prepare yourself, Vegeta says as the area around him begins to turn to purple and black flame. Ultra Ego Vegeta has awakened again. Right back at you, Goku says as he closes his eyes, and when they open, that distinct silverish glare is apparent. Vegeta plunges forward to attack, but the first few blows, Goku is in a near untouchable state. But he's using true Ultra Instinct and not perfected Ultra Instinct, so he's now once again as sporadic as he used to be before Ultra Instinct. So the next time Vegeta is within range to attack, Goku casually changes his stance and lands a solid kick to his head. Vegeta saw this coming but decided to tank it anyway. He took the damage but succeeded in grabbing Goku's leg. This is more like it. You're now less unpredictable thanks to this true Ultra whatever you call it, Vegeta laughs. You think so, Goku replies, and then he shoots Vegeta in the face with a ki blast, but he would tank this one as well, and he didn't let go of his leg either. and then he would proceed to slam Goku on the ground. It hurt, but now that Vegeta was no longer holding onto his leg, Goku uses instant transmission to get behind him. Vegeta sensed this coming, of course, so he tries to counter Goku's punch, but his body readjusts at the final moment. In fact, he just straight up uses Vegeta's momentum against him. Goku redirects his motion downwards and then lands a low kick. It sends Vegeta flying straight into the ground. He gets up 2 seconds later with the intention to win, but his stomach starts growling wildly. "Hey, have you eaten yet?" Goku asks. "Shut up and focus on the fight," Vegeta replies. Whis intervenes and tells Vegeta just give it a second. "You Saiyans aren't built for fasting. Continue training without food and you're only nerfing yourself." "Eat, Vegeta," Whis says. Vegeta would oblige, and Goku as well, and Beerus makes sure he hops in there as well before these two Saiyans eat up all the food. "Looks like you got something on your mind, Vegeta," Beerus asks. He was in a good mood today, luckily. "Yeah, I don't see myself surpassing Black Frieza with Ultra Ego. There has to be another way for me to become the strongest version of myself," Vegeta replies. How stupid. Don't mistake this, Vegeta. It isn't the technique that's gonna make you stronger. Jiren was able to match Ultra Instinct using his own innate strength. Try everything. That's how you'll find your answer, Beerus states. I agree with Lord Beerus. It's ideal to focus on one thing at a time, but what's the point if you aren't truly convinced it's the right way? Understand this, Vegeta. No matter how far you've come, you can always start fresh and go further, Whis adds. Hearing this, Vegeta gets up. Lord Beerus, Lord Whis, thank you for your input. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be off to Earth for a couple of days if that's alright with you, Whis, Vegeta says, and prepares to be transported back to Earth. Hey, wait you two, don't forget to bring me back some of that yakisoba stuff, Beerus stresses. Vegeta would give him a thumbs up and Whis would chuckle as the two then head back to Earth. Once back at Capsule Corp, Vegeta would head straight into his room. There, he would find his old battle armor that he used during the Cell games. Before he heads off again though, he makes sure to go tell Trunks to get as much yakisoba as he can, and then he would instant transmission to the lookout. Vegeta. It's been a while, Piccolo says, greeting him. Yeah, Vegeta continues. I'll be borrowing the chamber for a day or two. Piccolo notices that Vegeta doesn't seem to be in the mood for a chit-chat, so he tells him to just go right on ahead. Once he steps inside the time chamber, Vegeta would enter his Super Saiyan Blue evolved state and then brace himself to do something crazy. He would take a deep sigh and say, here goes nothing. And then he would try to release Ultra Ego on top of evolved Super Saiyan Blue. Suddenly, his entire body is struck with unreal pain. His instincts scream and he starts breathing heavily and is immediately brought down to his knees. As expected, Vegeta grunts to himself as it felt like his whole body was immersed in lava right now. This new form isn't compatible. Though I bet Kakarot's new True Ultra Instinct form could make this work as well. His technique is all about efficiency after all. For the next few months, Vegeta tries all sorts of variations. He wants to attain a hybrid transformation, one that uses the best of both, a destructive combination of Ultra Ego and his Saiyan instincts. This is not working out at all, Vegeta says one day drenched in sweat. So instead of staying in this one spot torturing himself further, Vegeta would, for an undefined period of time, just walk deeper into the time chamber until he knew exactly what it is that he had to do. As he walks, Vegeta recalls all of his transformations. The first time he transformed into a Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan Blue, God, Evolution Blue, and now Ultra Ego. It's like each new transformation is just him trying to catch up to Goku. When have I ever surpassed Kakarot? Vegeta continues. This won't do. This level of strength wasn't enough for me to win last time. He pauses for a moment and grins. This is it, isn't it? Thinking I can't do that is not the way. It won't help me get stronger. Alright, I get it. I'll give this Ultra Instinct a shot. Not so that I can catch up to Kakarot, but because I must try everything. I must absolutely get strong enough to take out Frieza on my own, Vegeta vows to himself. For the next few months, he follows a rather peculiar way of training. Instead of focusing on his moves or ki control, he uses his mental energy to imagine opponents. Beerus, Whis, Goku, and especially Black Frieza. He switches between them all the time. It's all for the purpose of making his body learn how to fight without his will. That's why he was using his energy to imagine his opponents instead of expanding it, trying to figure out what to do. The first few times don't quite work out that well. Vegeta is brutally defeated by all of them. But slowly and surely, as his body begins to readjust to this revolutionary way of training, Vegeta begins to develop a sense for it. And then, 14 months after entering the hyperbolic time chamber, it finally happens. In a fight against an imaginary Goku who was using Ultra Instinct, Vegeta dodges all of his blows with near perfect movements and even lands attacks of his own. Note that this is happening without his conscious will. Vegeta's mind is controlling imaginary Goku while his body is fighting back on its own. Without even realizing it, Vegeta had ascended to that next level. Unlike before when he just wasn't ready to handle Ultra Instinct, he was different now. He was no longer held back by his own overthinking or pride. No, Vegeta had reached a level where his own movements could surprise himself. Now that I got that down, time to actually achieve this Ultra Instinct. I'll figure out what's next later, Vegeta states, and then he would exit the time chamber. Piccolo is a bit surprised to see him, but Vegeta leaves before he could say a word. Back at Capsule Corp, thanks to Trunks, there was a truck full of yakisoba outside, so Vegeta would summon up Whis, and once he appears back on Earth, they would take the truck and the two would head back to planet Beerus. Once there, he notices that everyone is a little bit shocked. Vegeta thinks it's because of the massive truck that they just brought to the planet, but he ignores it and gets right to the point. Listen, Whis, I think I'm finally ready to learn Ultra Instinct. I'll surpass Kakarot at his own game, and I'll also defeat Black Frieza. Watch me, Vegeta declares. Whis would just grin. Beerus would grin as well. As for Goku, though, what are you talking about, Vegeta? Right now, you're already using Ultra Instinct, Goku says, pointing at him. What? No way, Vegeta says as he runs over to the pond to look at his reflection. It was just Ultra Instinct's sign, but by this point, it had become so natural to Vegeta that he didn't even realize he had already achieved this 2 weeks prior after going almost 21 days without being hit by a single attack. Now, with a basic understanding of Ultra Instinct, where would Vegeta go from here?